Hi everyone, it's Vanessa, and I'm responding to our week 3 question, which is asking, is the assumption that people with high IQs are good language learners? How would you respond to that? If we went with this assumption as being a true statement, then that would mean anyone who's a polyglot has a high IQ. Now, I am one to believe that that's partially true, because people who are multiple language learners um, have to have a degree of intelligence to be able to communicate in more than one language. But I don't really believe that that's what the assumption is stating. I think this assumption is saying is if you have a high IQ, then you can be a secondary language learner or a tertiary language learner, based on the fact that you have a high IQ. And I think that is, there's two sides to that coin. I believe that mathematical logical thinkers can often find patterns in language, and that does make it easier for them to in fact acquire and use a second or third language. On the flip side of that, those same learners who are mathematical logical thinkers oftentimes have a really hard time with language because the abstract parts of language don't work for them. So it can be a help or a hurt. But I want to go back to the original concept of people who are polyglots are, in fact, intelligent. I think that that's actually quite a good assumption, and especially when we look at immigrant populations coming into different countries, they are forced to learn a language, a secondary or tertiary language, just in order to be able to assimilate and to integrate into a society. Language learners who are learning for recreation are very different because they're learning not because they're being forced to in order to survive, but because they just want to learn a language to be able to communicate effectively. And in that case, you might find that IQ may have something to do with it, but it may not. I think there are a lot of factors to consider when you're thinking about people who are polyglots. But I would tend to agree that, in fact, people who are polyglots are, in fact, quite intelligent and quite possibly have very high IQs. So that's my thought on that. I hope I've answered all the questions. That's it. Ciao.